Hello and welcome to our Wines of the World assignment, and bienvenido a España. First things first, you can see an overview about Spain's wine regions with a map of Spain. In the following, we want to present the 5 key regions, talk about their specialties, and present some highlights, or as the Spanish say, destacados. We want to begin with the Rioja region, which is also the most famous wine region within Spain. It's located in the northern part near the Ebro River, and is also the first region that reached a DO status and now upgraded this one to a DOC A, which is the highest standard of wine producing in Spain. This region can be divided into 3 smaller parts, which are the Alta, Alavesa, and Baja, or also called Oriental. The Rioja Alta has the highest altitude and brings balanced acidity, resulting in bright flavors. It is marked in red on the map. In Rioja Alavesa, the soil contains more limestone, therefore the wine tastes fuller and more acidic. It is marked in yellow on the map. Rioja Baja, or also called Rioja Oriental, is characterized through its drier and warmer climate under the influence of the Mediterranean. It is marked in purple, and the used grapes are important for the earthy berry flavors with smooth oaky taste within the whole Rioja region. Now that we talked about the region, we want to present some highlights. And one of the highlights of the Rioja wine growing region is the 1942 R. Lopez de Herrera Vinitonodia Gran Reserva on the left, with a dry and acidic taste going well with beef, lamb, or poultry. On the other side, you can see the etiquette from the 1952 Marques de Murrieta Castillo y Gran Reserva Especial, which has notes of sherry, blueberry, and cassis. Being located in the southern part of Spain and known for its fortified wine, the sherry, Andalusian wineries mostly use the Palomino grape. Combined with a cooler temperature and the soil's limestone including chalk and clay, wines reach a higher acidity level. However, the regions around Malaga and Montilla Moriles have a warmer and drier climate, producing so-called heavy desert wines, using the Pedro Ximenez and Mocatel grapes. Looking to the highlights of Andalusia, we have the 1933 Williams & Humbert Conación Honoras Single Cask Oloroso Sherry on the left, which is not only the most expensive in our collection, but is also known for its nutty, caramelized characteristics. On the right you can notice the NV Barbadillo Reliquia Amontillado Sherry. With its bold, sweet and acidic taste, it goes well with mature and hard cheese, appetizers and snacks. Catalonia is located in the northeast region of Spain. It is also the only cover-all DO region. We want to focus on 2 regions in particular, starting with Pendes, the oldest wine region, located a few miles down from Barcelona. It is famous for its cava, which is sparkling wine, and Spain's answer to French champagne and Italian Prosecco. The highlights of the Pendes region in Catalonia are on the one hand the 1998 Torres Reserva Real and the 2012 Uve y Camps Finca La Siberia Gran Reserva Brut Nature Rosé Cava. The Priorat is also located in Catalonia and 15 miles away from the coast. It is one of 2 DOC A qualified regions in Spain, and the grapes used the most are the Garnacha and Carinena, but also some French Merlot, Cabernet Sauvignon, and Syrah for red wines. For white wines, which are produced in far lower amount, wineries use Macabeo, Pedro Ximenez, Anacha Blanca, and Chenin Blanc. A unique slate soil providing stronger minerality is an important factor in this region. Highlights of the Priorat region are the 2013 Alvaro Palacios Lermita Vélez Viñes on the left and the 2005 Clos y Terrasses Clos Erasmus on the right. The 4th region we want to speak about is Galicia. Located in the northwest of Spain, having the Atlantic on 2 sides and providing wine since the Middle Age, Galicia is a historical wine region. Since red wine seems to struggle to ripen fully, wineries in this region focus mainly on Albarino white wines with citrusy and botanical notes. Highlights of the Galicia wine-growing region are the 2016 Bodegas Rafael Palacios Sorte Osoro and the 2012 Bodegas Valdesil Pedroso Godello, 2 white wines. Last but not least, we want to present the wine-growing region around Madrid, Spain's capital, which is one of the largest with its 8,800 hectares. The grape used the most is the Garnacha Tinta, but again some French grape varieties are used as well, like the Merlot, Cabernet Sauvignon, and Syrah. The white wines Parellada, Moscatel, Torrontés, and Viura are the most common. And our last 2 highlights are the Comando J Las Umbrias from 2017 on the left, and the 2018 Comando J La Brena on the right. After we discussed the key wine-growing regions in Spain, we want to focus on the winemaking traditions briefly. Old world techniques were used to age wines for centuries, and until the 1990s, the American oak barrels were used intensely. In the 1990s, there was a shift to the French barrels. However, today are both types of barrels used across the country. Also New World techniques were adopted, but not entirely.
Viticulture practices. There is a dry weather in many parts of Spain, so they plant their wines with widely spaced rows. Most common and widely adopted system is known as Marco Real and involves having 2.5 meters of space between wines in all directions. Traditionally, Spanish people harvest their grapes by hand, but today there is an increased use of mechanical harvesting, so their harvests are being done at lower temperatures at night. There are more than 600 grape varieties here in Spain. 88% of the country's wine production is focused on only 20 grape varieties. Iran. Iran is the most widely planted white wine grape. It is very alcoholic and prone to oxidation, and tends to be planted at a low density. It is found throughout central Spain and for many years served as a base for Spanish brandy. Furthermore, Iran is allowed in the following: Alicante, Pulas, Jumilla, La Mancha, Valdepeñas, and Vinos de Madrid. Tempranillo is the second most widely planted grape variety and used to make full-body red wines. It tends to thrive in chalky vineyard soils such as those of the Ribera del Duero region of Spain and Pirat. It's also associated with the Rioja. Mencía. Mencía is a medium-bodied red wine grape that produces high-quality wines with floral and wet flavors. It is primarily found in the Bierzo, Ribeira Sacra, Valdeorras, and Monterrey regions. Garnacha. Garnacha is a late-ripening, thin-skinned grape which loves heat and long summers. It is found in the northeast area, La Rioja, Navarra, Aragon, and one of the most important varieties in Catalonia. Garnacha. Garnacha is a late-ripening, thin-skinned grape which loves heat and long summers. It is found in the northeast area, La Rioja, Navarra, Aragon, and one of the most important varieties in Catalonia. Bombao. Bombao is a dark-skinned wine grape variety native to Utiel-Requena, southeast Spain. It is grown in the region of Valencia. Organic viticulture. There are 113,480 hectares of certified organic vineyards in Spain, so Spain is the world leader in organic viticulture.
Alright, so I will be talking about the Spanish wine law. Since Spain is a part of the EU, so most of their alcohol rules or wine rules are aligned to the EU rules. And in general, they're divided to table 1 and the quality ones that are only being produced in specific regions. And then one thing I found is really interesting for reading is the North American grapes. They are not allowed to be planted in the EU vineyards. And then for the grapes are allowed to plant it in the vineyards. And each countries in EU has to come up with a specific list of the grapes variants. And then there's sort of like a committee has to approve it. Then they will be able to plant it. And then also since the national wine laws in different countries has like much longer history than the EU wine regulations, so pretty much the EU regulation have been made to accommodate the existing regulation for different countries. However, there is a minimum ripeness for grapes to be used for wine. In terms of the general EU rules, and there is a minimum alcohol content for wine and a maximum alcohol content for non-fortified wines. What we see right now, like this is like a pyramid thingy, is called the Spanish wine quality system, which is what we'll be getting into just right now. So what is the Spanish wine quality system? It is the most significant move towards the quality came with the passage of the 1932 wine statute. And then this law are officially created the denomination of origin system, which is called DO system. And then currently there are 19 DOs are officially awarded, and then each of them are allowed to create their own regulations. And then, so this law remained in effect until it was replaced by the statute on vineyard, wine, and alcohol regulation in 1970, which is pretty much like a national law for production zone, defined production method, and it created a national system. And in 1988, RIDC established the criteria for the creation of superior quality level, which would rank above the DOs, and then it is called qualified denomination of origin, which is short version is DOCA. The purpose of this rule is to better align Spanish agriculture system with the EU system, and then for the Spanish government itself in 1996, they unveiled its own multi-tiered and sub-classification system. And then finally, the wine statute was again updated in 2003. And then in this revision, both the single state, which is called VP, and then the quality wine of geographic indication, VC, were created. And right now we will be getting into more technical terms of the system of the Spanish wine quality system. What is called VP is pretty much wines are produced under the single estate category must be done. So it's under the distinctive condition representative of the area and must be produced and bottled wholly within this estate. There are currently 19 VPs in Spain. And then DOCA, for this category is represent the highest level of the wine application in Spain. And then the region must have had like DO status for a minimum of 10 years. And then the wines they're producing must be produced and bottled within the region. And the wines must cost at least double that of the national average of DO wines. Moving on, we have DO. For this category, it compares the largest portion of Spanish quality pyramid. Is pretty much a number of quality standards must be met for an application to gain DO status, including the use of authorized grape variants, production levels, winemaking method, and again aging remain. Zones of production needs to have been recognized for their quality of minimum 5 years, and then there are currently 68 DOs in Spain. So next we have VCs. This category is basically somewhat of like a stepping stone of the DO status. And then one application in this category are typically in lumpo between the VPs categories, and then a region must spend a minimum 5 years as a VC period to applying for DO status, and then 7 applications currently hold VC status in Spain. And also we have VT in this category. This is like the only label under the European Union's protected geographic indication category. Once in this classification poses identifiable local characteristics, but have more relaxed viticulture and viniculture standards than those DO and then DOCA applications. And due to the greater flexibility within this category, many winemakers in high quality regions have adopted a label and some of their wines as VP. There are currently 72 VTs in Spain. And last but not least, we have Vino. Correct me if I said it wrong. And it represents wines produced without any specific indications. Wines labeled as such are only authorized to mention country of origin, grape variety, and a harvest year on the label. Moving on next, and then you might be surprised or you may not, in Spain, the wine market size in 2021 was 10.7 billion. And the market expected to grow of more than 7% during the forecast period, which will be 2021 to 2026. And then I think that is it. This will be our last part of the presentation. Speaking of the Spanish wine culture, I think is definitely really different. So obviously wine and drinking is like a part of the Spanish culture. And then drinking wine in Spain is all about like slow down and enjoy. Also Spain has like a really unique food culture, which is just like literally simply sit down by the table and spending some time with your family, friends. And then interestingly, during this time, and nobody gets up to clean the dishes or rush to their next appointment. So yeah, and I think which is really interesting and different from like my drinking culture was the Chinese drinking culture, which is like everybody is like thinking drinking is a competition. We just be like compete who drinks the most and get super drunk. And then interested in Spain, drinking starts around like 1:30. Oh my god, I wish I can do that. Again, it's all about like slowing down while like eating some appetizers and enjoy company of our friends and the family and just hang out with them, have a good time, and then not stress out about work or other stuff. And that is the end of our presentation. Thank you so much for watching.